Ooh, happy Friday. We made it to Friday. Like we wouldn't. Did anybody doubt that we would make it to Friday? Thank you, Kay, for my newly colored hair. Back to my natural purple. My birthday is Thursday. And so, I got to look right, even though I'll be away next week for Story Week. And the Great Give is happening. So WNHH will be commanding the Great Give for 36 hours. So I won't be around this year. It's on my birthday anyway, and I'm usually here riding shotgun for it. But this year I'm at Story Week for during the Great Give. So give greatly, people, give greatly. And so the regular scheduled programming for 103.5 WNHH will be preempted for the Great Give. So we will be having people sing for their supper, I would imagine, Paul. People are showing up, singing, dancing, telling jokes, playing instruments to their audiences to give. So I do believe that's still the case. Although at least people have reached out to me asking me, do we still have to sing for our supper? Because they like it. As much as they whine, they like it. And some of the organizations that do it well. So I'm just putting it out there for competition. So if you coming on WNHH 103.5, don't come half-ass, people, because these folks come on here and they belt out a song, tell a joke, play some music. Listen, don't come half-ass. Don't come sheepish. And some of y'all are Christians out there, so never come to the Father sheepish. Come in full glory. Ask for what you want so that it might be provided. Amen, amen. Amen, amen. So the Great Give is next week. Get yourselves ready. Listen, you new organizations to this thing, and if you ain't signed up with Paul Bass already, because I know people have been reaching out to me, and I've been sending them to Paul. I'm like, y'all gotta talk to Paul. I'm not the ringleader of the Great Give. I'm like you. I do what I'm told. I show up where I show up. I hit the marks where I'm supposed to hit the marks. But I'm not here this year, so you don't got me to like talk to and chat it up. I love it. I really do love the Great Give when people come on. I don't like the idea of the Great Give, but it's here, and I love people's attitude about it, and people try to get on this show. So be ready. So put your best singers forward. Polish up your act. Don't come sheepish, because we're not going to help you, because we just going to sit there and be like, you ready? You ready? You ready? And Paul like having people in studio. So I'm sure it'll be a lot of people dancing in there. As Paul like to look at people up close and personal. Me, not so much. I can have people on Zoom do their song and dance, but Paul really likes people in the studio. So I would imagine he's gonna staff it up so that people could come in and tap dance and stand on their head or play the viola or whatever the hell they're gonna do. So contact Paul Bass about the Great Give coordination. Don't call me, because I'm just going to send you. I'm gonna be like a government agency. I'm gonna send you. That's above my pay grade. It's above me now. I'll send you on. So FYI. The other day we lost Joel Schiavone. We lost Joel Schiavone, who is the architect of he was the one that really had a vision for downtown New Haven that nobody else had. And hate him, love him, whatever. He was a musician. He was a Renaissance guy. Bought, renovated a house, moved into it for his fraternity. They kicked him out. He had like 3 or 4 wives. We all should be Joel Schiavone. But he had a real vision for downtown Upper Chapel Street, and I dare say if he had time and vision, he would have, and not time and vision. He had time and vision. If things didn't happen a different way, he probably would have moved his way down to lower Chapel Street and did something with that. But he is responsible for the way Upper Chapel Street looks and the renaissance that ensued under his care. So we owe him uh, uh, some thanks. We owe him a great deal of thanks for that, because he made Upper Chapel Street a destination for shoppers and students and New Haveners alike, restaurants and theater and all. He made it a place that people wanted to go to and felt safe to go to. He had a real vision for that. In ways that other people didn't have vision, because people were having these visions about suburban malls, and look where suburban malls are. So big box stores are taking a beating. It is the boutiques that matter. People like a more personalized, sure, we all could go to Target and to the bigger stores and TJ Maxx and all that other kind of stuff. But there's something to be said for going to a little boutique for the most interesting of things, stuff that you can't find just about anywhere else. So anyway, Joe Schiavone has left the building. And I would say that people will be talking about his influence and legacy for a very long time to come. A very long time to come, and as it should be. So prayers of peace and condolences to anybody related to Joe Schiavone. all the family members, wives, children, all of them related to Joe Schiavone. All of New Haven holds Mr. Schiavone in condolences and prayers. So there's that. Let me just tell you something about what is going on in this country. I for the life of me do not understand these institutions of higher learning calling the police on protesting students. These students are not tearing up property. They're not burning down cars. They're not doing any of that. They're not doing that, And to go in and roughhouse professors and students who pay good ass money to go to these institutions. And I don't think it's people outside of these institutions on these campuses. Have you tried to get on a college campus? College campuses are secure as hell. So these are students on these campuses, and they feel away. And when a university, an institution of higher learning, calls the police on its student body, it really is a way to change the narrative, to force the narrative in a different direction, so that they don't have to deal with divesting from Israel and standing with the Palestinian people. That's a way to not to deal with that, because now the focus is on, oh, we got to protect Jewish kids because they feel unsafe. How the hell do Jewish kids feel unsafe? Ain't nobody targeting them. Show me. And I don't, these Jewish kids are standing up, and I've only seen like 2 of them do it out of all over the country. All the Jewish kids that I've seen on television, on Facebook, on the gram, they've said that's a false narrative. They feel perfectly safe. They are standing with their student body around having these universities divest their interests out of Israel and to stop the killing of Palestinian people. This is what I've seen. So when I see the other narratives, when they go find some Jewish kid who might be afraid because they listen to their parents talking about, we got to stand with each other because they're coming for us. We're persecuted people. See, we're being persecuted. Jewish people, y'all know what persecution is. This ain't it. And it's not it. So, and I listen, when I saw those parents saw their son who got his arm blown off because he's a hostage, when I saw that they saw him, I was relieved for them. Now, I want their son to come home too. As I do all those hostages, I want them all to go home to their loved ones because their loved ones miss them. And as I said last week, if I'm a Jewish parent and my kid is like that, I'm going scorched earth too. Diplomacy be damned. I get it. Lord have mercy. I get it. I would tear up everything. I would try to blow up everything because I'd want my loved one. I get it. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have to tap into our own humanity in these moments, as difficult as they are, as hard as they are. And yeah, I could sit and say this because I know where my children are. I know where 3 of them are. I know where all my children are. At any given moment, I can reach out to my kids and they will reach back. I know where they are. So I don't know what it's like to not know where my kid is. I kind of know what it's like when my kids was going through their teenage phases and they would just do foolishness. But this is not that. This is not equivalent to having your kids snatched. So it's not that I do not sympathize with those hostages. I swear to God, I do. I do. But at some point, something else has to happen. We can't stay in a scorched earth moment. We cannot stay scorched earth. And you know what I mean by scorched? Just tear everything in the wake of everything, just bulldoze everything, bomb everything, kill as many people as we can because we want to send a clear message to Hamas that we will stop at nothing to rid you all of the earth, even if it means wholesale killing Palestinians, because that's essentially what's being said. And then Israel could say, and our friends are with us. Our friends, our allies are with us as we kill all y'all. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to stop us. We're going to kill all y'all wholesale until we make you pay and understand that we're not going to tolerate the taking of our people. That's where we are. That's the thinking right now. Let's just keep killing them until somebody says uncle. And nobody seems to be saying uncle, right? So the Hamas terrorist people are floating these pictures and a video of the kid that's whose parents want him back. He wasn't even born in Israel. Not that you have to be born in Israel to have affinity for Israel. All Jews have affinity for Israel, I would imagine. As that is their occupied home state. It is. So. But at some point, you could kill all the Palestinians. You could kill them. You could run them to wherever you're gonna run them. And but that does not end terrorism. It doesn't. I don't think it does. I just think it gives terrorism a more martyrish being. I don't think it helps at all. I think diplomacy has to be the order. But I get it. Listen, I want people to understand. I understand scorched earth because if my kid was missing or my loved one, I wouldn't stop at anything to kill everybody in that region. But that's coming from a very different place. That's not rooted in world vision. That's rooted in, I'm a mother, that's my child. I don't care what you got to do, get my kid. That's a whole different mindset than if you are the president or the prime minister or the leader of a country. You can't be all scorched earth. You've got to think about the bigger picture. You've got to think about how do we have peace in this region. You've got to be thinking about how can we come together. You've got to be thinking about, how do we leverage this moment to sort of help the world see that terrorism is not good. You gotta be above, the emotional pull of scorched earth. I get it. Let me tell you something. I'm not ashamed to say I would kill everybody in the wake for my children. Everybody would catch it. I get it. I'm a mother. That woman's a mother, as a father. I get it. But we also know that leadership of a country requires something more than scorched earth mentality. That somebody has to provide leadership and say, this is not how we're going to go about this, you know, because it's just gonna go back and forth. Well, they're killing all our people, so we're gonna kill some of their people. Then they're gonna kill more of our people. Then we're gonna kill some more of their people. Then we're gonna kill some more of their people. Then we're gonna kill some more of their people. And all we got is dead people. All we got is dead people. And every moment that this escalates makes it very difficult to have real diplomatic conversations on how to get these folks out of harm's way. And that's the truth. And I don't understand why that's not the order of the day. You know, I don't understand it. And by not understanding, I don't mean I don't understand the history and why we're in this moment. I understand why we're in this moment. The whole world understands why we're in this moment. The whole world understands why we're in this moment. And, these institutions here in the United States of higher education to arrest students as if Kent State didn't happen, as if we have not learned any lessons from the past. And these same people who are given the okay to have these kids arrested protesting apartheid know something about the civil rights struggle. Remember Kent State. What are we doing? What are we doing? No institution of higher education should be calling the police on their students unless there is destruction of property. That's not happening. These kids are out here creating art and protesting. And all these Jewish kids who are claiming to be afraid, maybe they are. I don't begin to know. But from what I see and from what I hear, I think that's a narrative that they get from their parents or other Jewish folks who feel like scorched earth is the way to go. Because the minute somebody Jewish says, "Oh, I feel afraid," then, all hands on deck. Oh, well then. And the use of being anti-Semitic is not it can't be, you can't cry wolf with that. Like there are real instances of anti-Semitism. Real, honest to God, real examples of that. Real world examples of that. This ain't one of them. I don't think this is one of them. I think that these young people on these college campuses are like, listen, we want this earth. We want to have something left of this earth. This escalation is against humanity. And I'm with them on that. I'm with them. And I appreciate the Jewish kids who are standing on the front lines with their own bodies saying, I'm not co-signing what Israel is doing, and I'm Jewish. I'm not co-signing that, the killing of Palestinians wholesale because, whatever. I'm not. Yes. And you don't have to be, listen, Palestinian folks on the ground want those Jewish uh, uh, hostages returned too. Hamas is a terrorist organization. We know what terrorism is. We got homegrown terrorism here we don't deal with. We got Klan, skinheads, Proud Boys. We got all of that. We don't go scorched earth on them. And they got a history of killing and harming people from the last 2 turns of the century. So yeah. So while Hamas is running roughshod over there in the Middle East, we got our own homegrown terrorists that we don't do a damn thing about. We see you, Ohio. Ohio had another black man in the custody of police comes to his death because a knee on the neck kind of situation. What kind of police training is that? I think these police officers that do this get turned down by it. I think this is more sexual than I think they get turned down. I think they're so hyped up they get turned down by it. I'm just going to put it out there because this is just happening more and more. Listen, Jewish kids, I don't see y'all getting boots on your neck in these streets. I don't see it. I just don't see it. So Ohio, I don't know what's going on in Ohio. I really don't know what's happening. Another one of these police problems, you know. He's handcuffed. He's telling the police, I don't know. I don't understand when the police officers hear a citizen say, "I can't breathe." Are they not obligated to help them breathe? Like, what's the obligation there? If someone tells you, do you think that they're just kidding? Like you're like, oh, you just want to get out of the handcuffs? I, I'm trying to understand the rationale. Listen, I'm no attorney. I'm just playing it on the radio. I'm trying to understand the thinking around if somebody says, if you're a police officer and you got somebody hemmed up and they say, I can't breathe. I mean, I just think if you already have them in handcuffs, why are you on them? Like, why are you on them? I'm just trying to understand. I'm tired of people saying, well, if he just cooperate. What? How do you know he didn't cooperate? You look at the video. I mean, if you got somebody in handcuffs, they've already cooperated. You could just stand back and let them whatever. So this took place in Canton, and there's video. And I think some cops just don't care. It's like I'm on the side of right, and you'll see that. And plus my union got me. Listen, police officers, particularly the ones in New Haven who listen to me, and there's many of you who do. I have great respect for the work of policing. I honestly believe in good policing. I know some amazing cops. I've seen great cops out here in these streets. There are cops who go the extra mile. But dear good cops, y'all have to stand up against the cops who tarnish the profession of policing. That's all I'm gonna say. And you know when wrong is wrong. That's it. So you either be on the side of wrong, or you be on the side of right. And that's not blue or green or black or white. Right is right. What's on the side of right? And whatever is on the side of right has to be aligned with what is on the side of humanity. What is on the side of humanity? But this is not happening to anybody else, is it? I don't see white men going down like this. I don't see it. And God knows we've seen enough white men videos encounter with the police where they just talk all the kind of mess they want. You know. So I don't understand. He's handcuffed and the officer puts his knee on top of his body and he's like, I can't breathe. And the officer tells him to calm down and stop fighting. And I'm when you handcuff somebody, what can they do? I don't if they're already down, why are you on them? They can't do anything. I mean, what? Writhe on the floor? Like what? So what? And the officer telling them to calm down. We all know when officers say calm down, that's just code for them to continue to do the foolishness, to make it seem like you're out of control. That's gaslighting 101. That's just what that is. Stop fighting. How is he fighting? You got the handcuffs on him. Listen, if you got the handcuffs on somebody, how are they fighting? Your hands are. Anybody out there been handcuffed? I mean, I've been playing handcuffs. I'm not gonna talk about that, but I mean, handcuffs is restraint. You liable to pull your shoulder out messing around. So if he's on the ground, Why is your knee? Why is it important to have a knee? Why is that a thing to have a knee on a handcuffed body? What do you think is going to happen? That they're going to roll over you and you're going to be like a bowling pin? I just help me understand. So the officer removes his knee, and Tyson again says he can't breathe, to which someone responds, "You're fine. Shut the F up." So, this is what I want to see. All the officers that were participating in this murder, they all should be handcuffed and put through the same scenario. That's what needs to happen in these probably training schools. See what happens. Train them like that. You know what? Let me show you what this feels like. So when you tell me you can't breathe, I'm going to let you breathe. But I want you to have this experience because you seem to be divorced of your humanity about it. That's how I feel. Make haul all their asses into court and line them up. And then handcuff them all and put them on the ground and put your knee on their asses for 30 seconds and see what they do. And then constantly yell at them, shut the F up. Oh, relax. That's what needs to happen. I need that. I need that experience for them because they seem to be divorced from it. I don't get it. So at one point, the officer jokes, "I always wanted to be in a bar fight. I don't know if this counts." No, it doesn't count. You're the police officer. You have guns and boys in blue behind you. A real bar fight, you with your boys, you get your ass kicked, everybody go home. You not in a bar fight. You being an antagonist. And and that kind of talk right there is dangerous talk. And that's talk unbecoming a police officer. Because as I understand it, if you're a police officer, when you take somebody in custody, you take them into care. They are in your care. So they go through his wallet. They talk to the bystanders. He appears to be motionless on the floor for about 5 minutes, and while they talk to the bar people. And when one of the officers returned to the frame, he asks whether Tyson has calmed down and whether he's breathing. And the officer checks for a pulse, and the officer later performs chest compressions on an unresponsive Tyson. So they killed him. He was in a bar. He wasn't in a bank. He wasn't robbing a bank. He was in a bar. The officers had responded to a report of a one vehicle crash just after 8:15. And they witness directed them to he struggled with them. I don't know what that means. So they do CPR and several doses of Narcan, and he was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. All right. You know. So uh so the man had to go talk to this family about what happened. I guess it was a 911 call. Two of them, I guess. Something was going on. I just I don't understand it. I don't understand this. So it was a single car crash with a down power pole and an unoccupied vehicle with the driver's side door open and an airbag deployed. A man in a white van drives by, tells police that a man responsible is at the AmVets Lodge down the street. They go there. A woman asks them to remove Tyson. When the officers approach him, he knocks over a bar stool and tells them to go to get the sheriff. They attempt to handcuff him. Why do they have to rush to do that? They're just arresting somebody. They just go in there and so he might have been having a mental emergency because he was like, they're trying to kill me. And what do? They kill him. So, you know, so something was going on with him. But rather than to spend the take the I don't understand this rush. Like was there another call coming in that they had to get to? Like why couldn't they just, not escalate the situation? I mean, I'm no police officer. I'm just playing one on the radio, but I feel like if you if you walk into a space and you don't really know what's happening, don't you want to find out what is happening? Like what is the rush to get him in handcuffs? I mean, I know the bar people are like, this is a place of business. We're trying to conduct some business. But somebody's got to show up and be like, okay, sir, what's happening? Like, was that your car out there? What's happening? The sheriff is on his way. That kind of thing. Like, let's take some time to unpack the situation. He didn't have a gun on him or anything like that. And I know there are moments when there are opportunities and instances where you can't unpack a situation, that you have to move rather quickly. But don't you have to determine that when you walk into a space, what you're walking into, right? Like, doesn't some don't you do some discerning? Like, okay, let me assess the situation. How many is 8 of us, or however many of us, is only one of him? Let's assess the situation. Let's figure out what is going on. Let's calm the situation. Let's not escalate it. Let's de-escalate it. Find out what's going on so that we could get to a resolution where everybody goes home. Ah. And this is just because it's an accident. They didn't say, "Oh, did you get hurt? Are you hurt? Is that your car? Do you need some medical assistance? What is happening? That was that your car. Your car is left out there. What is happening?" Ask those questions. You moved to handcuff him because, I mean, I know the bar people want him out the bar, but wouldn't they rather? So they would rather have a murder in their bar, like have somebody dead on their floor, rather than a peaceful resolution. What happened to peaceful resolution? Is that not a thing? And of course, a black man. So he's probably a vet. He's at the vets. He's at the American Vet Legion space. And I've been in them spaces. Go good drinks. Sometimes they have good food, nice people. They just chill with Frank, Mr. Tyson. All I have to do is be like, okay, Mr. Tyson, let's. He doesn't look like he's a danger. And the cats sitting at the bar, they move out the way. And he must know this place and they must know him. So he must have been hyped up or agitated and it made people nervous. But he ain't going there with guns. He got on shorts and a t-shirt. They don't got no weapons. uh, and he's like, call the sheriff. They take him to the ground, saying, you're gonna get sprayed. Another person says, don't spray him. Yeah, but you kill him. And so this would be another instance where, well, they were just doing their jobs. It's unfortunate that Mr. Tyson passed away, but this is just a collateral damage of policing, I guess. I guess. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think I'm just feeling just this sense of overall violence everywhere. You know, policing on children at universities and professors at universities who are trying to stand with students. They get knocked to the ground. This was going on in Ohio. We done seen this story umpteen thousand times. You know, I just don't know what to make of it. Do you know what to make of it? Does anybody know what to make of it? And please, I get prayers helpful. I do. I get it. Prayer is helpful. I'm a praying woman. I believe in the power of prayer, but I also believe in the power of humanity to do what is right in these moments. And I don't know what it is about policing that makes people feel like they could just kill without kill with immunity. I don't know what it is. I don't know. We need a much more gentler, kinder police force. And I don't mean police who, who can't do the work. I just mean we gotta change this dynamic. And I know people are like, oh, Babz, you don't understand. They put their lives on the line. They don't know what they're walking into. When they walk into situations, they gotta be prepared to meet force with brute force and blah blah blah. All right. All right. But who is always at the other end of that? Just proportionately. Who is always at the other end of that? Because I don't see them marching on anybody else but black and brown people. And by black and brown people, I really just mean black people. But I know Latinos are catching it too, you know. So I don't know. We need something. We need something other than we need a come to Jesus moment. We honestly do. We need a real come to Jesus moment. Or come to Buddha moment, or come to Allah moment, or come to the well moment, come to the whatever. We all need this. So, is your father picking you up? Oh man. Well, how much is a Uber? Let's see. Find out. Let's see what I might be able to get you a. Really? Do you want to walk? I could send you a little something. No, anyway. Yeah, I'm at home. So when you're at home, you get to do all kinds of stuff. So here, I'll see. We'll see what $15 will do for you. All right. Okay. That's why they don't feed you over there. Oh, they do. They got like veggie chicken nuggets. Okay. Veggie fries. Well, that's good for you. All right. All right. See, parenting doesn't end. You know, make a way, make a way. If you're not working tonight, I'm taking the car again. Bye. All right. All right. So call yourself a car so you can get over there on a timely fashion. Anyway, your father didn't respond? Okay, he might be sleeping or just ignoring you. Oh, don't forget Rock the Rock. Don't forget Rock the Rock Earth Day ride. Don't forget that. It's this Saturday. I participated in Rock the Rock from a administrative board person on Common Ground, but I've never participated in Rock the Rock. I have no interest in that. So, uh, the good thing is, the pools, 3 pools are going to be open this summer, which is nice. We have a lot of swimming pools in this town. There's a lot of swimming pools in this town. So Wilbur Cross pool. Oh no, no swimming at Wilbur Cross because I guess their pool is under renovation. So Wilbur Cross pools will be closed and the career pool will be closed. Okay. So the pools will be for summer recreation. Hill House, West Hills, and John Martinez on James Street. Oh, I didn't even know they had pools over at Conti. Conti West Hills Magnet, 511 Chapel Street. Oh yeah, they do have a pool over there. There's a pool over there. I've been in their pool. Um, so there's a pool over there. Hill House, a pool at Hill House, which is at 480 Sherman Parkway, and on John S. Martinez on James Street. My kids learn how to swim at Martinez. because it's not a deep pool at John Martinez. So we used to go every Saturday. And their swim lessons. They took swim lessons at the Y. Their first initial swim lessons were at the Y, because one summer the state of Connecticut had free swim lessons for kids, primarily black and brown kids, but any kid could take a free swim lesson. And it was a good swim lesson, good swim lessons at the Y. So so my kids got their first swim lessons at the Y. And then the Parks and Rec, I put them in the Parks and Rec swimming program, and we did a family swim, so that I got in the pool too. But they had swimming lessons at James, at the Martinez on James Street. Yeah, and then they could swim wherever they wanted to swim. They could swim at Hill House. Our neighbors had a pool, so they was over there. So then they could swim however way they wanted to swim once they got, lessons in. And I think Margot took dive lessons at the Yale at Payne Whitney at their pool. She took dive lessons. So, so yeah, so these kids know how to swim. It was adamant. And so, black people have a tough relationship with swimming. And I want to remind people that, there was a time in this country where, the movement of black people was severely curtailed. So we didn't have access to pools. We were kept out of pools, city pools and community pools. We were forbidden to go to those, like banned, it was for like whites only. There were maybe like one or two for black only pools in the whole damn country, and then they were, so there were black swim teams, but they were so far and spaced out, that the number of folks, the majority of folks couldn't have access to swimming. So this is why you see so many black people who don't swim, because historically and legally we were shut out of those spaces where pools, where swimming could happen, where swimming lessons could happen. And, we have to remind people of that. We have to remind people of the history of this country, when people are like, oh, black people don't know how to swim. Well, you know why we don't know how to swim? Because we were forbidden for swimming in public spaces and spaces that have pools and community access. That's why so many of us don't swim. Racism. Not because we don't want to learn how to swim, not because we are fearful, because our movements were curtailed through racism, through legislated racism. Do you understand? Legislated racism is laws that say white only. Niggas not allowed. Do you understand? So that's what that is. Because, people come to this mess like, oh, black people don't know how to swim. Why don't they know how to swim? We were banned from beaches, from community pools. That's why we don't swim. What's wrong with y'all? But you have to remind people. And so we remind people. Just FYI. So yeah. So now we have to just catch up, right? Now we have to get our kids swimming. We have to undo all that racist past, why folks don't swim. Why black folks don't swim. So here we are. So we will undo that as best we can. And there's whole organizations. I think the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, their commitment to seeing black children swim, they've been making that part of their social action for the last few years now, getting young people swimming, and engaging community pools to offer swim lessons and paying for swim lessons so that kids can swim. That's real stuff. That's necessary stuff. Very necessary. So I'm just saying. Yeah. So if you have not learned to swim, it's a good time to swim. My dear friend and bestie Markeisha Ricks went down to Florida and took the Miracle Swim courses a bunch of them. Now she's a mermaid. She's a bona fide mermaid now because she had a real fear of water and swimming. And she took the initial course, and she went down there for a couple of weeks, and then she went back to take additional training. And she went back and learned how to jump into the deep ocean to swim and float. So she is a swimmer. Markeisha swims. And so my goal and dream for her is to like go ahead and get certified and start teaching the Miracle Swim courses and train up people how to do the Miracle Swim courses and just do that. You know, just do that. You know, just get some miracle swimming done. You know. So, and every couple of years I go and take a remedial swim course because I don't swim enough. And sometimes I just got to get in the water and be reminded of, okay, this is how you float. This is how you. And now that I can put goggles on, because goggles help me see, because the part of my fear of the water was getting in the water without my glasses and not being able to see. That was the fear. The fear is not that I was afraid I was going to drown. The fear was that I couldn't see. I got to be able to see if Jaws is coming. Even in the pool. I get in the pool and I hear the music. Da-da, da-da, da-da. And if you can't see, it just becomes real. So when I put my goggles on, the goggles give me opportunity to see, which is a wonderful thing. So now I can see in the water. And I wear contact lenses. I never thought I could be in the water with contact lenses on. I just thought they would float off. But I could put them on and be in my goggles, but I don't really need them. I could just put my goggles on, without even putting my contact lenses in. So that's a plus for me. And when I went, I was somewhere, and I didn't bring my goggles with me to Marrakesh last year, so I didn't swim in the water. I just don't like to swim without being able to see. That's my thing. So I couldn't find my goggles. You know where my goggles are? Hanging on the back of my damn door. Or hanging on the back of the door of the my daughter's room. Like, I'm looking for these damn goggles. Here they are. So anyway, that's my swim story. That is my swim story. So yeah, so my goal is to get back in the water and go swimming. I don't like swimming in the winter. It's just such a production to put on all these clothes, to get undressed, to put on a swimsuit, to go swim for a while, and then get back in shower, put all those damn clothes, and then go back out into the biting cold. I just don't like that. I like to swim in the summer, and I just go with the minimum of effort and swim, and then it's fine. That's it. So why is Harry in the waiting room? Harry, why are you in the waiting room? Why is Harry in the waiting room? So Lauren Anderson will be on at 10:15 because this weekend is indie book store weekend. And so independent bookstores all over the world are gearing up for this weekend and inviting people to come in and to shop independent bookstores. And because Possible Future is my bookstore of choice, my independent bookstore of choice, I will be around there sometime this weekend. So Lauren Anderson, who is the head book peddler at Possible Futures bookstore, is coming on at 10:15 to talk about what this means and what they got going on. Now, follow Possible Futures on the Instagram and on Facebook, and you can see all the activities that are coming up. They put up a whole calendar of events. When I come back, I'll have my passport. I'll show you my book passport of all the independent bookstores in Connecticut. There's quite a few, and some, Breakwater Books in Guilford, R.J. Julia, Possible Futures, Kindred in Bridgeport, although they're not participating because there's a fee involved. And some bookstores can't handle that fee. But there's a lot of bookstores, and there's a passport. You could get it stamped, and you could win prizes and all that kind of stuff. And because I like prizes, I might do it. We'll see what happens. So I will be back at 10:15 with head book peddler Lauren Anderson of Possible Futures Bookstore, Book Space, and I'll be back. Be back.
Hi, this is Babz Rawls-Ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live at newhavenindependent.org.